This is Shelley Kraft coming to you live on SNNLive. We're at AdvaMed, the MedTech Conference 2012 in Boston, Massachusetts. Standing with me is Ray Briscuso of AdvaMed, the CEO and managing partner. Well, now it's my turn to gush to you. Okay, this has been a good event.
Oh yes, this has been a record setter for us. This is our 6th, and it was by far our best as far as content, as far as attendance. The reviews have already been coming back, and we literally hit a home run up here.
Now let me ask you a question, and please tell our audience, okay? What is it that AdvaMed stands for, and how have you accomplished your goals?
Okay. Well, AdvaMed is a 38-year-old organization. It's the world's largest medical technology trade association. AdvaMed stands for the Advanced Medical Technology Association. And we did not used to have an annual meeting that invited the entire industry. We created one 6 years ago. And during these 3 days of every year, we welcome the entire industry, not only the manufacturers, the innovators, but joining us are the angel investors, the venture capitalists, the private equity bankers, the key service providers. People come from all over the world, and for 3 days, once a year, the industry gathers. This year we had record numbers in every category. Being in Boston was fantastic. We had key people from the MIT labs, we had key people from all the banks, we had literally all of the global leading companies. The CEOs from the Covidians to the Medtronics were all here, and it's nice when everyone's in one place at one time, especially when you have such a high number of literally the CEO of the company and the heads of business development. A lot of deals were getting done this week.
Speaking of high level, there were companies, I don't know how many companies you had, I couldn't count them all because I know some companies signed up late and, yeah, and if you had to take more extra space probably to handle all that. There wasn't an empty booth. We had a great location. I want to thank you for it. We interviewed a lot of CEOs, and the stories, what they're doing, the way they're helping humankind, I mean, you guys got to be happy for how this thing turned out.
Well, in the end, it's all about the patient. It's all about solving, there's a lot of unmet medical needs that need attention, and our industry is an innovative industry. It takes a lot to get this, to get new products to the market. The companies have to partner with each other. They have to partner with investors. They have to work with universities. So it's a perfect thing when you bring people together because the challenges are enormous. We're not satisfied with the current state of healthcare today. There are ways to improve our lives. There are ways to get people that are not walking. There are ways to get people who cannot see to see. So we've got a lot of work to be done. I'm proud of what's already done, but I think that everyone here wants to find a new product or improve the lives of patients.
You had the governor speak. You had Robert Kraft speak. No relation, unfortunately. But I was just wondering, how do you top this, and what's the next event? I mean, let's go. Let's get it out there.
Well, we're very excited about next year. We'll be in Washington, D.C. next year, September 23, 24, and 25. Going back to Washington will be a great place for us because we're a very regulated industry. And there'll be changes next year, and regardless of who the next president of the United States is, there could very easily be new leadership at HHS, new leadership at the FDA, the Patent Office. There'll be new members of Congress. It's very important. One of the partners that I maybe didn't mention today, it's not just about the investors and not just the innovators and the universities. The government plays a big role in making sure that there's safe products out there and that they're regulated properly. So Washington, D.C. will be a very good place for us, and we hope people will join us next September.
Ray, at lunch today, sitting on my left was a company from the Netherlands. Sitting on my right was a commissioner of the FDA. Where do you get that? Where do you find that? I mean, while we're listening to, the head of Princeton University's, healthcare department. I mean, please.
Well, the industry is still U.S.-based. Not only are the companies primarily U.S. companies, but 50% of the healthcare spend is in the United States. So whether the company's from the Netherlands or New Zealand or it's from Switzerland, Canada, France, they want to have their products sold in the U.S. market, so they want to come here. But what's interesting is the growth rates are often in some of the emerging growth countries, and we also run a lot of educational programs here to help people understand how to do business in some of those places. We had key people here from Mexico, from Saudi Saudi Arabia, from China, from Brazil. So Israel, yes. I think we had about at least 25 different countries, about 38 different states that were here, about 2,400 people in all, and very, very pleased with who attended this year. We're looking forward to even a better event next year in Washington, D.C.
Well, we enjoyed this event. Now, what I want to finish with is a couple things. It's not just the yearly event, it's what goes on all year long. So give some, include the website and include what people can find on that website.
Well, the trade association is AdvaMed.org, which is AdvaMed.org, AdvaMed. The conference, we have a .com address. We'll soon have a new one, AdvaMed2013.com. But the trade association, as I mentioned, is about 39 years old. We literally have the industry. I'll start with the large ones. We have 22 of the 25 largest medical device manufacturers as members. We have 14 of the 15 largest diagnostic companies as members. But about 300 of our members either do not yet have revenue or have very small revenue. So we run the full gambit. We're the early stage company, and we're also the giants that are already in most every market. And that's, I think, that's what makes it special.
That breeds partnering.
That breeds partnering. The big companies want to meet the small companies and vice versa. We all need each other. You know, there are a lot of tough hurdles out there. There's budget challenges. You've got to get products that not only have a market need, but they're going to be reimbursed in a way that make discovery reasonable. So it's
and you
important.
also lobby. I mean, you know, you're out there, you know, working it for the regulation changes. Come on.
Well, you're right. We've got to educate a lot of public officials about policies that can do a lot of harm, not just to us, but to patients. And this is not the time or place probably to go into some of those, but you know, the medical device tax, there's other issues out there. It's important, very important, that the industry come together, understand what policy is going to do for their business, and that we stand together to defend what is, in America, a huge creator of jobs. And so it's not just about what we're doing to help patients, we're also creating a lot of high-skill, high-wage jobs. That it's very important that we protect that.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ray Briscuso of AdvaMed, the CEO and managing partner. We are at AdvaMed, the MedTech Conference 2012 here in Boston. I want to thank you for having us, and I want to thank you for coming on to SNNLive.
It's a pleasure.
We'll see you next year.
I'll see you next year.